Malaysia has demonstrated a strong commitment to international maritime governance through its participation in major international maritime instruments. Malaysia was party to 31 of the 69 identified maritime instruments as at 31st March 2026. These comprised 30 instruments administered under the International Maritime Organization, or IMO, and one convention administered by the International Labour Organization, or ILO, namely the Maritime Labour Convention, 2006. Since conventions, protocols, and annexes may be classified differently across official records, it is more accurate to describe Malaysia as being party to 31 instruments within this selected framework, rather than stating that it has ratified 31 separate conventions. Among these instruments, the Convention on the International Regulations for Preventing Collisions at Sea, 1972, commonly known as COLREGS 1972, is one of the principal IMO conventions implemented by Malaysia. The IMO establishes global standards for maritime safety, maritime security, and the prevention of pollution from ships. COLREGS 1972 is one of its most important navigational safety instruments. It was adopted in London on the 20th of October 1972 and entered into force internationally on the 15th of July 1977. Often described as the rules of the road at sea, COLREGS establishes internationally uniform rules concerning proper lookout, safe speed, risk of collision, collision avoidance action, navigation in restricted visibility, traffic separation schemes, and the display of lights, shapes, and sound signals. The uniform application of COLREGS provides consistency and predictability when vessels of different flags, types, and sizes operate in the same navigational area. Common rules allow masters, officers, and bridge teams to anticipate the actions required of other vessels when a risk of collision develops. Malaysia formally acceded to COLREGS 1972 on the 23rd of December 1980, and the convention entered into force for Malaysia on the same date. This accession marked Malaysia's formal acceptance of the international obligations established under the convention. COLREGS is given domestic legal force principally through Section 252 of the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952, or MSO 1952. Section 252 empowers the Minister of Transport to make orders for the prevention of collisions at sea. These include regulations governing navigational lights, shapes, fog signals, and steering and sailing rules. Regulations made under this section have the same legal effect as if they were directly enacted in the MSO 1952. The collision regulations apply on the high seas and in waters connected with the high seas that are navigable by seagoing vessels. A master who fails to comply with the applicable regulations commits an offense and may be liable to a fine not exceeding Rm 10,000 for each offense. Compliance with COLREGS in Malaysia is therefore a legally enforceable obligation, rather than merely recommended navigational practice. Acting under Section 252, the Minister made the Merchant Shipping Collision Regulations Order 1984, published as PUA 438 of 1984. The order incorporated international collision prevention rules into Malaysia's domestic legal framework. It covers the conduct of vessels in different conditions of visibility, steering and sailing responsibilities, narrow channels, traffic separation schemes, lights and shapes, sound and light signals, and distress signals. The Marine Department Malaysia is the principal maritime administration responsible for administering the MSO 1952 and its subsidiary legislation. Port authorities may also exercise relevant powers within their respective port limits, while the Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, or MMEA, may carry out maritime enforcement functions within its statutory jurisdiction. The MMEA is distinct from the Royal Malaysia Police Marine Operations Force and should not be referred to as the Marine Police. Malaysia shipping notices are used to inform the maritime industry of legislative amendments, technical requirements, and compliance measures. Of particular relevance is MSN 11-2023, Gazettement Notification of Merchant Shipping Collision Regulations and Amendment Order 2023. The amendment order revised the schedule to the original 1984 order, which had previously been amended in 2000. The amended collision regulations framework came into operation on the 29th of August 2023, while MSN 11-2023 was issued on the 4th of September 2023. It notified ship owners, ship managers, masters, seafarers, recognized organizations, port operators, and other maritime stakeholders of the legal update. Section 81 of the MSO 1952 strengthens compliance by requiring current maritime legislation and publications to be readily accessible on board ships. Ship owners must ensure that the latest Malaysian legislation, official notices, international rules, and relevant publications concerning maritime safety, security, and protection of the marine environment are available on board. The Director of Marine may determine the required materials through Malaysia shipping notices. Failure by an owner to comply with this requirement may result in a fine not exceeding Rm 25,000 for each ship. Ship owners, masters, and bridge teams therefore have important operational responsibilities. Ship owners must ensure that the current collision regulations, relevant Malaysia shipping notices, and navigational publications are accessible on board. Masters must ensure that their vessels are navigated in accordance with the applicable rules, while bridge officers and other relevant crew members must be familiar with amendments affecting steering and sailing conduct. Traffic separation schemes, sound signals, and the correct lights and shapes for different vessel operations. An important example of the practical operation of call regs is Rule 18, which governs responsibilities between vessels. Rule 18 establishes a general hierarchy based on the vessel's relative ability to maneuver. A power-driven vessel underway must generally keep out of the way of a vessel not under command, a vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver, a vessel engaged in fishing, and a sailing vessel. However, Rule 18 operates together with other COLREG provisions and does not give any vessel an absolute right of way. Rules 9 and 10, which govern narrow channels and traffic separation schemes, may impose specific obligations that take precedence over the general hierarchy. Rule 13 also provides that any vessel overtaking another vessel must keep out of the way, regardless of the normal hierarchy between vessel categories. Furthermore, Rule 18, paragraph D, requires vessels, other than vessels not under command or restricted in their ability to maneuver, to avoid impeding the safe passage of a vessel constrained by her draught where circumstances permit. Such a constrained vessel must display the signals prescribed by Rule 28 and navigate with particular caution. Seaplanes under Rule 18, paragraph E, and wing and ground craft under Rule 18, paragraph F, must generally keep clear of other vessels, avoid impeding their navigation, and comply with the applicable collision regulations when a risk of collision exists. Rule 18 therefore provides a clear framework of navigational responsibility, while operating together with other rules to maintain safety in open waters, narrow channels, traffic separation schemes, overtaking situations, and operations involving specialized craft. In conclusion, Malaysia's accession to Call Regs 1972 and its implementation through Section 252 of the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952, the Merchant Shipping Collision Regulations Order 1984, and the 2023 Amendment Order demonstrate a clear commitment to preventing collisions and strengthening maritime safety. This framework is supported by Malaysia shipping notices, onboard access to current legal materials, crew familiarization and enforcement by the relevant maritime authorities. The practical application of provisions such as Rule 18 further ensures that navigational responsibilities are clearly allocated according to vessel type, maneuvering ability, and operating conditions. Collectively, these measures align Malaysia's domestic maritime regime with international standards and promote safe, consistent, and responsible navigation by Malaysian and foreign vessels operating within Malaysia's maritime jurisdiction.
Thank you for watching. See you next time.